Now at 6, the Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas hosts a women's health fair in Pittsburgh. Plus, the Empire Market in Joplin warms up from the cold with its 5th annual chili cook-off. And the oldest elementary school in Springfield is set to close after this school year. We'll have reaction from some of its teachers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
3 Missouri men have been arrested and charged after Missouri State Highway Patrol officers found human remains in a burn pile last Tuesday night. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Elise Noe. It happened in Cedar County, Missouri. Authorities arrested Bradley Keith of El Dorado Springs, Jimmy Cole of Stockton, and Brandon Schote of Lamar. Officials say all 3 men have been charged with tampering with physical evidence and abandonment of a corpse. The identity of the deceased has not been confirmed. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with the first look at weather.
Well, of course, it turned out to be another cold one for us today, but the sun helps. That makes it feel a little bit better across the region. We do have some clouds kind of skirting our northern counties, but overall, we are looking pretty good. But we are tracking a storm system out to the west, really the western third of the country. We have a few waves which are going to head toward us as we go into next week, and we'll start to see some moisture in here by Sunday night. Now, tonight's going to be fine. Very cold. We'll drop back to 13, 16 by 7. By 10 a.m. back to about 25 degrees. But we get above freezing tomorrow, which is great news. Freezing rain tomorrow night. That could cause some issues, light glaze on the roads, and then we switch back to rain by the time we head into Monday. So, of course, we're going to break all this down for you coming up here in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. In honor of Cervical Health Awareness Month, Pittsburgh hosted a women's health fair today. The event, organized by the Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas, raised awareness for HPV and the importance of getting screened for cervical cancer. Exams were available for women between the ages of 21 and 65 years old.
Cervical cancer is one of those cancers that, can really grow pretty under the radar, and so can get in a more aggressive form unless you catch it early. So it's really important to catch it before it even turns into cancer, and it's very treatable if you catch it early.
The American Cancer Society's estimates that almost 14,000 new cases of invasive cervical cancer will be diagnosed in 2024 in the U.S. The Women's Health Fair also had boothings for sharing about other health-related issues. Organizers say they want to expand the event to other cities in the area. To learn how often you should get tested, go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Springfield City Utilities is asking customers to voluntarily conserve energy because of supply issues. Chris Bryant reached out to area hospitals to see if they're being impacted and what they're doing to keep the power on.
But there are oftentimes people that you don't think about in healthcare systems that are just as necessary. They are certainly critical, vital to our success as an organization.
Maintenance crews working to keep the heat and lights on are a vital operation when it comes to providing life-saving measures. Preparations for the extreme cold started long before this recent round of winter weather and will continue even after the winter weather has passed.
We're always learning, right? All of these situations, when they come up every year, they tend to expose where you might be weak. Systems like this that we have in place have been in place for quite some time.
So we're a 24/7 operation, so you can't close down, and we have to have redundancies in place. We are probably one of the largest users of natural gas in the CU customer base.
Cox Health has around 120 different facilities within its system. Each site that is not part of the main campus received a checklist with things most would do in their homes: opening cabinet doors, turning up the heat, or turning down the heat based on the room and usage. Shutting off the water if someone is not going to be around as part of a 6-step process for the buildings.
And went back and kind of reviewed problems in that particular building, tried to address those, trying to be a little preemptive this time. I think we put more effort into it, given the length and what was coming forward.
Here in Springfield, one of those major steps taken was to switch off the natural gas system that the hospital uses.
And we switched to diesel fuel. So we have up to 3 days, depending on the volume, the utilization. It's monitored by a vendor. They come in every 2-3 days and refill it to keep the tanks full.
Just up the street, Mercy also made the switch to diesel.
Yeah, it's a bit of a process for our energy center operators, the folks that are actually doing the work in our energy center with our boilers, but none of our providers frontline coworkers would ever even know that we have switched from a natural gas to a diesel backup.
Mercy Springfield burns nearly 500 gallons of diesel fuel per hour when on the backup system.
That allows us to save switching to diesel from natural gas. It's about the equivalent of 600 to 650 average homes heat for a month.
Spiva Center for the Arts today hosted a neurographic art event. Neurographic art is a type of art therapy and it is used to relax the mind and the body. Officials say the style of art encourages the brain to create new neural pathways.
Neurographic art is more of a recent thing for me. I began pour art and then I do abstracts. And so I kind of added the Neurographica to that.
The event was open to adults from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Local artists today were able to get their hands dirty while learning to wheel throw their own ceramic projects. The Spiva Center for the Arts hosted the event as wheel thrower Stephanie Roy shares different techniques. The event began at 1 p.m. and wrapped up around 4 p.m.
I found this class on Facebook and I've wanted to get back into pottery and I invited my sister.
I have a dog bowl right now I'm creating.
And I just finished a coffee cup.
The class was open for people 15 years of age and older with a fee of $60 per thrower. Joplin hosted the 5th annual Empire Market Chili Cook-Off today. 9 chilies were competing in the event and prizes were awarded to the top 3 contestants as decided by a panel of judges. The event also had public tasting, allowing people to cast their votes as well.
Brings back the old memories from when I was growing up around here. I was born in Joplin, and came around. I lived with my grandmother for some periods of time, and we just got to bond and cook through those times.
It's a way to bring more people into our four-season farmers market during the slower winter months. And every year we've had it grow.
The organization says all proceeds will support the Newton Community Kitchen. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile also was at the market during the event, adding an extra attraction to the Empire Market activities. Coming up, Springfield's oldest operating elementary school is set to close at the end of the school year. We'll have the details. Springfield's oldest operating elementary school started a transition period today. The school board voted to close Robertson Elementary at the end of this school year because of declining attendance. Joe Hickman takes a look at what the future holds for its teachers and the building itself.
Located on Kearney, right across the street from Highland Dairy, Robertson Elementary has been a part of Springfield's public school system since 1905, with over 90% of its students qualifying for free or reduced lunch programs. And like any school with close ties to its neighborhood, it's upsetting when the decision is made to close down.
They have done a disservice to the community.
But the decision has been made, with Robertson students being moved to Boyd Elementary starting next school year. As for the 8 Robertson teachers and rest of the staff,
what we know is that there will be staff that will need to be added to Boyd Elementary to accommodate the influx of new students. So if the classroom teachers at Robertson choose to follow students to Boyd Elementary, they will have that opportunity to do so. If they choose to look at other opportunities within SPS, that will also be available to them. And the same is the case for our other support staff on that campus.
It was back in 2012 that Robertson was at 130% capacity. And the district was buying up adjacent properties that displaced some home renters.
A lot of memories are going to be left in this house.
But now, a school built to house 343 students has just 148 in its attendance zone, with the number expected to fall to 113 within the next 5 years. The building's future is still up in the air, with the possibility that the school board will declare it to be surplus property.
Certainly that would not be something that would happen before the school closes, but parties who are interested in the property would submit a proposal that would indicate what they're willing to pay for the property, as well as its intended purpose. Currently, Doling is declared surplus property. The former Boyd Elementary is being developed as we speak. We have also seen Pepperdine repurposed, working in collaboration with the city and the county to make sure that that building lives on in a new form.
That would be as the O'Reilly Center for Hope, a community hub for several agencies that help with affordable housing and financial stability. But no one knows yet what fate lies ahead for Robertson.
A little later, Nevada and Webb City basketball today played in the four-state classic tournament. Brock Baldridge will have the highlights from both games in sports.
Well, of course, another cold one for us today, but at least we have the sunshine, so that makes it feel a little bit better. Now we're going to start to get out of this deep freeze as we go into the next couple days. Now tonight, everything's quiet by 11 p.m. down to 13, so it's going to be a cold night. 7 a.m. 16, back to 25 by 10 a.m. Overnight low of 13, which is still well below our average low. Average low is about 25 degrees. All right, not a whole bunch going on. We do have some clouds kind of skirting our northern counties. Besides that, we're pretty quiet, but if you look out west, the western third of the country, several waves. You can see the little spins off the coast of the Pacific Northwest. All these waves are going to head toward us. Here's the first one just west of Las Vegas. That will start to affect us tomorrow night. You can see the second one right behind it. So we are going to have those rain chances as we go through the week. Let me walk you through the rest of the weekend. All right, tonight about 13, but we rise toward dawn to about 15 or 16 degrees. Clouds increase. Mostly cloudy skies for us tomorrow, near 30 by noon. Once we get into the afternoon, 37 in Nevada, so warmer. Pineville 36, 35 in Bentonville. Miami 35, Pittsburgh 35, 36 in Chanute. But it's tomorrow night. We drop back right around 30 degrees. You see this pink? This is light freezing rain mixed in with a little bit of sleet, freezing drizzle. Temperatures hovering right around 30, so these bands start to push through. So here's 9:30 p.m., so right about the end of the Chiefs game, we have light freezing drizzle and light freezing rain. So we are going to get a little bit of a glaze on the roadways. You can see another batch comes in after midnight. Here's 2 a.m. on Monday. Light freezing drizzle continues into Monday morning, but look at this. Temperatures warm and we switch over to rain. So any ice we do get on the roads, yeah, it could be a little slippery, but it will melt very quickly as we go back to rain throughout the daytime hours on Monday. So on Monday, we just have periods of rain, temperatures warm into the upper 30s. Here's what you want to know. How much ice could we get? Not a lot, maybe 1/10 of an inch. So not enough to like bring down power lines or tree limbs, but enough to put a glaze on the roadways as we go into Monday morning. So we're going to keep our eyes on that. Here's your day planner for your Sunday. 20, 9 a.m., 1 p.m., 34, 36 by 3 p.m. So at least we get above freezing. And we get rain. So we have this batch of rain Monday into Tuesday. A little bit of a break. Here it comes again. Tuesday night, periods of rain into Wednesday. Here's another break, but look at this. We get more showers rolling in on Friday, so we got plenty of chances for rain as we go through about the next week. And our temperatures, they're going to warm up, which is great. All right, 38 on Sunday, freezing rain tomorrow night, and then over to rain on Monday. High temp at 39, 46 Tuesday, 48 on Wednesday. Look at this, 50s near 60 by next Friday. Showers again by the time we head into Friday and Saturday. Elise?
Still ahead, the Pitt State Gorillas are on the road in Topeka against Washburn. And it's championship Saturday for a handful of our local high school basketball teams. Brock Baldridge joins us for the highlights and more up next.
Well, just about all of our local boys and girls high school basketball teams all over the 4 states are in a tournament this weekend. Today is championship day, and a handful of teams have a shot to bring home some hardware. Nevada versus Bartlesville in the championship game, the 4-state classic. Lady Tigers hit a buzzer beater to get to this game. Start things in the first quarter as Clara Swearingen pulls up from deep and knocks down the 3 ball here. Later in the quarter, it's Lucy Swearingen who drives to the rim. She gets fouled. You can count the bucket there. And then later, her sister Clara's right back at it. Left-hand layup is good, plus the foul. Nevada trailed by 15 going into halftime. So in the second half, Lady Tigers go to Kaylee Holcomb, who knocks down the three from the corner. But Bartlesville, they made tough baskets all afternoon, got everything they needed it when they had to have it. As Leia Lund gets the finger roll there for two. And then in the fourth quarter, it's Mika Chambers drops in the floater for 2 points. Bartlesville goes on to beat Nevada 48-31. However, Nevada finishes in second place in the four-state classic. Webb City versus Piedmont in the boys championship game of the four-state classic. 6th year in a row the Cardinals have made this game. In the first quarter, Webb City gets on the board first as Baron Duda makes the easy basket here. Cards lead early, but Piedmont, they can really shoot the rock today as Connor Beard splashes in the three ball from the corner. Webb City down by 1. Later in the half, it's Eli Pace who drives in, hits the mid-range jumper here. And then a few possessions later, Webb City goes to Amari Jackson. Really nice touch off the glass here. However, Webb City trails by 12 going into half. Second quarter now, Piedmont showing off the range again as Braden Lloyd buries the three ball. Cardinals just trying to hang around, but Baron Duda gets the tough bucket in the lane there. But Piedmont could not slow down that scoring spree as Braden Lloyd picks up a couple more points here. Webb City falls to Piedmont 78-57. Cardinals finish as runners-up in the Frontenac tournament. High school hoops continues on through the night. Over to the Lancer Classic in Southeast High School. It's the Riverton Rams who will face the Parsons Vikings in the championship game, the boys bracket. Tip-off is scheduled for 7 p.m. We'll have highlights from that game right here tonight at 10. Over to college hoops now as the Pitt State men's and women's basketball teams are each coming off of a loss to Emporia State on Wednesday night. The Gorillas continue the road trip and look to bounce back against Washburn today. Pitt State versus Washburn, only time these two teams face each other in the regular season. In the fourth quarter, Inkabods save it from going out of bounds, but Anaya Wayne is there to hit the three before the shot clock goes off. Washburn leads by 13. Now they turn it on to the defensive side as there's a loose ball on the floor. Layup on the other end is going to be good. Washburn now leads by 15 points with under 2 minutes to go. Gorillas doing all they can do late. Macy Mays gets the layup here for 2 points, followed by Corinna Gerber working down the paint, trying to close that deficit. Maybe it was a little bit too late. Washburn, just too much today off the rebound. Free throw there by Liz Boyd, going down to get the basket for 2 more. Washburn upsets Pitt State 75-62, your final score. Over to the men's side now, Gorillas facing the Inkabods on the road. Tight game to start off with as Sam Ungashik driving and dodging pressure in the lane there. It's the easy bucket for Washburn to start off this game. On the other end, RJ Forney from the outside hits the three for the Gorillas. PSU leads by 2. Next Washburn possession, Emmanuel Bird sees Jarmel Johnson heading up for the bucket. Big layup, lots of momentum out of that one. Still in the first half, Michael Keegan looking to pass, but he'll just take the jumper himself. 7-6 ball game now. Later in the half, big man Braden Red getting the job done on the outside for Gorillas. 3-point Pitt State lead, but Washburn got whatever they wanted inside the paint today as Andrew Orr gets the mid-range jumper, and then Emmanuel Bird working inside down low. Pitt State falls to Washburn on the road 81-74. And that's Look for Sports. We'll be back right after this.
All right, it's going to be another cold night for us tonight. We drop back to about 13 degrees, but above freezing tomorrow, which is nice. 38 for a high, down to 30 tomorrow night. That's crucial. We get some moisture in here, so light freezing rain, light drizzle, freezing drizzle, all over to rain on Monday with a high temperature of about 39. Elise?
It's pretty chilly out there. It's a perfect day to stay in and watch some football.
I was going to say, good day to stay in and watch some football. Hopefully the roads don't get too bad tomorrow.
Absolutely.
But, well, as far as the NFL goes, the Baltimore Ravens currently lead the Houston Texans 31-10. So it looks like whoever wins the Bills or the Chiefs game tomorrow, they'll have to go through Baltimore in order to make it to Super Bowl 58. So we'll be excited to see who wins tomorrow's game then.
It could potentially be Patrick Mahomes' second.
Could be his second road playoff game in a row, yeah.
All right, thanks, Brock. Well, that's our time for now. Thanks for making us part of your night.